The feather was golden. Not like gold, golden. The specific warmth of something that carries light because it was made near light. It had been waiting in the alchemist's drawer for longer than he could account for. He had not known who to give it to. He had known it would find its way. The city remembered how to breathe. Not all at once. The way something that has been holding itself very still for a long time unclenches. Slowly, not trusting it yet, checking whether the threat has actually passed. But it happened. The streets found their voices. The soldiers of the silent aberrant company stood at their posts, the way soldiers stand when standing means something. Children looked at strangers without calculating the cost. The Slain Manticore had not seen full tables in 3 years. The quartet sat at 1. The owner had recognized them before they reached the door. He did not ask for payment. He did not ask for anything. He set food on the table and went back to work, and that was the whole of it. They had not planned to stay. Sol-Vara had been a destination, not a rest. The letter had named it. What waited inside it, still unnamed. They had arrived looking for an answer and found a city that needed saving first. The saving had taken an afternoon. The answers were slower. 3 days of the right questions aimed at the wrong people. The city's knowledge of its own celestial history had been among the first things to go. 3 years of a man who had no use for origins and every use for resources. Records incomplete. Scholars scattered or silenced. What survived was the kind of knowledge that outlasts institutional collapse. The kind that lives in people too old or too stubborn or too ordinary to be worth silencing. On the first day, a soldier told them the beacon had always burned, since before his grandfather's time, since before anyone's time. He said it the way people say things they have stopped thinking about. On the second day, an old woman stopped Valerie on the street outside the Manticore and pressed a small bundle of dried herbs into her hand. Her granddaughter had survived the 3 years, she said. She wanted someone to know that. On the second evening, a merchant's wife said her grandmother had told her the light was a door once. She laughed when she said it. She did not know why her grandmother had believed that. On the third day, Kylister and the party went back to the alchemist's corner for a second vial of something they didn't strictly need. The alchemist set it on the counter. Then he set something else beside it. Small, old. An arrowhead with the patina of something handled many times by many hands. And from it, on a thread so fine it might have been spun from light, the golden feather. They say celestials travel through the beacon, the alchemist said. But you, my friends, came through the gate. And you came right on time. He explained the way people explain things they have known so long they have stopped finding them remarkable. Before the Armistice, during the war that made the Armistice necessary, before and through the fracture and the ash of the Sanguine veil, the beacon of Sol-Vara was not decorative, not a symbol. It was a bridge, a point of passage between the mortal plane and whatever lay beyond it, maintained by the Celestials, used by them the way a door is used. They did not arrive. They descended, through the beacon, into the city built to receive them. He let that settle. Then, the same is true for the other side. For every point of entry, a mirror. The Celestials had their bridge. The Sovereigns had theirs. A place in the mortal world where the darkness between planes thinned to nothing, where what had no right to walk here could step through and did, before the Armistice closed what it could close. He did not know where the sovereign entry point was. He was not sure anyone had ever found it. The quartet sat with what he had told them long after they left. The sealed case in Calister's hands, the arrowhead with the golden feather in his pocket, the beacon above Sol-Vara still burning as it had always burned, indifferent to everything they now understood it to be. A door they had walked beside without knowing it was a door. If this is true, and it has the specific texture of truth, the kind that needs no argument because it explains too many things that had none, then questions follow that will not be put down. The first, why in 300 years of the Armistice and what peace could be maintained, did no one destroy the entry points? A bridge can be burned. A door can be sealed. Why was this one left standing? The second is simpler and heavier. The Celestials travel through the beacon of Sol-Vara. The quartet knows where that is. Where is the sovereign entry point? And the third, the one that followed them out of the alchemist's corner and did not let go. Why had no one told them? 300 years of the Order, the weavers of Arcanum, every institution built to hold the line between survival and collapse. This was not obscure knowledge. An old man at a corner stall had carried it for 40 years. What else had been buried that they did not yet know to ask for? The archives are now closed.